It's the meat event. It's the trilogy. It is the UFC 286 headliner that we've all been looking forward to. Leon Scott taking his belt in his hometown and trying to defend it in a repeat match against Kamaru Usman. And I'm interested, immediately struck by the opening odds for this one, minus 245 Usman. Plus 205 is the champ Leon Scott. And gotta imagine in the coming weeks that these odds probably will narrow a little bit. I'd be pretty surprised if they widened at all because I think minus 245 is already pretty expensive for Kamaru Usman, given the fact that he's coming in as the challenger. And it does make sense. I mean, Usman was, 90, 70 seconds ish away from winning that rematch until the head kick from hell. Leon Scott landed one of the most beautiful and most timely strikes in UFC history and just absolutely stole the show, sucked the air out of the room. Like, we were sitting there live, me, and the boys, Meat Boy, and it was like a good 30 seconds of just silence and shock. Like, we're looking around, asking ourselves if we were dreaming. Like, it was pretty wild, eh? And nonetheless, though, Usman left on a stretcher. Leon left with the belt, and now he'll have an opportunity in London to headline this card and try and show the world, I guess, that it wasn't just a fluke, right? It was precision, it was timing, it was strategic, and not just a YOLO head kick. So, what are your thoughts on how this trilogy plays out? Do you anticipate it developing in a different way? Because that fight was pretty crazy in the sense that Leon Edwards got that. Remember, he got that takedown in round one. He ended up winning round one, and then got away from the grappling throughout the rest of the contest, and Usman was able to use his wrestling to his advantage, but it started off pretty interesting in Leon getting that early takedown. Do you envision more of that in this trilogy, or is the focus for Leon going to be trying to keep this on the feet and then trying to head kick him again? Who are you taking in this trilogy?
Yeah, that first fight was pretty wild. I mean, seeing Leon take Usman down and destroying his 100% takedown defense record was truly baffling because if anyone would have done it, I would have assumed it was going to be Colby Covington, who almost did it a bunch of times, or someone else. Never in a million years I would have thought Leon Scott would have taken him down, let alone get back control and dominate that round. After that, it was a big, it was almost like that happened, and then it's like, huh, must be a glitch. Because then Usman decimated for the next 4.5 rounds. And like you said, the head kick of doom. It was just like, what happened? Did the TV just glitch? What just happened? And that's where it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if Leon Scott pulls it again. Sometimes these guys just get their number and they never call them back. And I'm going to take the upset in this one. I'm going to take Leon Scott. I think he's just, he's like, oh yeah, hit me up, same number. I'm going to keep the bell over here, in the United Kingdom. And I think Usman's just kind of 1 foot out, 1 foot in. He's made a lot of money. He was thinking, Canelo and all his boxing fights. He might go join the PFL with Francis Ngannou for all I know. I don't know where he's at. I haven't really seen much. But these kind of odds, you got to pick the champ, I feel like. But it's probably going to be a long night for Edwards. But I'm banking off with those odds. I can't not throw at least $20 on it. So I'm banking off Edwards getting it done by decision or KO.
If it does go decision, how do you see Leon accumulating rounds? Like, do you see him going back to the takedown well that he showed early in that second contest? Do you see him outclassing Usman on the feet and by default being able to thwart the takedown attempts that Usman will be trying to throw his way? I can see the pathway for the KO because we just saw it the last time that they fought. But how could you see Edwards winning a decision is my question.
Yeah, I think Edwards is going to stuff all the takedowns, stop everything, discourage Usman to where Usman's going to have to stand and bang, and I think Leon Scott's got the striking advantage on that one. Yeah, I think it's just going to stay on the feet. It would very surprise me if Leon Scott loses on the feet. But also, everyone said that about Masvidal, and look what happened to Masvidal. So nothing surprised me on this one. I'm for sure fading it. I do not like those odds for Usman. I would have thought of at least like maybe a minus 150, but minus 375. That's crazy because someone does it once, they can do it again. So yeah, I'm gonna take Leon Scott just for fun on this one. those odds are just juicy, especially for a champ that took his soul. And it might be haunting in the Nigerian's nightmare. And he might not ever forget that head kick. So he might, deja vu, I guess you could say.
Yeah, there could be something to that for sure. And it's rare that one we get the champ as an underdog, let alone a 2-1 underdog. And it's rare that we get a champ who's 4 years younger as a 2-1 underdog because Leon Scott is in his prime, 31, and I like to think that Usman kind of is in his physical prime too, but he also has had those hand issues. He has those knee issues where he's not even able to run. He's got to go downstairs backwards. Like this dude's body has definitely seen a lot of wear and tear over the years, and Leon, meanwhile, hasn't seen that much of it, and is a pretty spry 31-year-old in there. So in this one, 56% is rolling with Usman. A lot of beige going for that decision. 44% is rolling with Leon. It's pretty much split, right? Some are rolling with that head kick round two. Others do envision a decision pathway. I've been torn on this one, Meat, going back and forth, and I don't know. I guess my final question would be, I've heard Chael Sonnen say that there's no such thing as a home court advantage when it comes to MMA. Like, we've seen Derek Lewis fight in Texas, and I don't want to say crumble under the lights and the pressure, but definitely underperform for the moment. Leon's fighting in a sold-out O2 arena in his backyard. It's in the United Kingdom. Does that play in his favor and he feeds off of the energy, or do you see that being a potential distracting and ultimately detrimental thing for him?
It definitely, I don't know, it really depends, I feel like, on the person. Some people absolutely thrive in their hometown or home state or country, and then others, the pressure just buckles them. They're like, man, my auntie's there, my cousin, my best friend fifth grade. I don't want him to think I'm a wimp. And then you get slept and look worse than a wimp. So I don't know. It's very tough to say. We'll have to find out that night. But I would imagine Leon Scott being a professional, being undefeated other than Usman that one time. I would imagine that he's prepared for anything and everything.
Yeah, I buy that for sure, and there's definitely something to that, right? Like the last person you want to look like a wimp in front of is your best friend from fifth grade. So in this one, I'm gonna roll with Leon Scott. I'm rolling with you, Meat Boy. I think this is another opportunity for a super tough dog to come away with a shocking belt, and I'm gonna roll Leon. I'm gonna roll Leon by finish again. I think he's able to get this one done again. This time, I'm anticipating him to land even more strikes. It's not just going to be that YOLO head kick, and I think Usman's going to feel this one, and Gaethje's going to start off the co-meet with a just a sad Trevor Whitman, and then it's going to be mega Chad, sad Trevor Whitman vibes for Usman, and he's going 0 for 2 on the night. But it's Usman. He's often considered to be the best in this division, and if he gets it done, we won't be surprised. Just taking Leon Scott. Are we crazy?
No, I don't think we're crazy. I think anyone's crazy to think that Leon Scott is going to get ragdolled and has no chance, because look what happened last time. If you don't think history can repeat itself, think again. But throw in the comments, who are you taking? Are you taking Rocky for another upset, or are you taking Nigerian Nightmare to redeem himself?